Hi, Dr. Kelli here, and I wanted to talk about the relaxation response. It is part of 30 Calm, which is a 30-day commitment. It's kind of an invitation more than a commitment, but it's 30 days of focusing on your mental health. And there are 6 aspects, and you get to pick what you want to do with those 6 aspects. And one of them is practicing the relaxation response for 10 minutes every single day. So I wanted to talk about what that is. So the relaxation response. Now, it is true, if you know more about the polyvagal theory, that is fantastic. But for this, I'm going to keep it super simple. We're talking about our central nervous system, and I want to talk about both the stress response and the relaxation response. So we're wired for both. And you're probably very familiar with all the ways that you can get stressed. And the stress response is elicited. And when that happens, so fight, flight, freeze, or flop are options there. But we are wired with the exact opposite response, which is great, the relaxation response. And we can actually purposefully elicit the relaxation response. There are lots, just as there are thousands of ways to get stressed and produce a stress response, there are thousands of ways to get relaxed and have the relaxation response. So there's no one way that is superior to others. So it really kind of depends on what feels good to you that elicits the relaxation response. What I'm going to talk about is a 2-step process and 10 minutes of a focused relaxation response practice that I teach that I think is very helpful for me, but it's helpful for a lot of my clients and students. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. So there are 2 steps to elicit the relaxation response. One is repetition, and the second is to passively dismiss everyday thought. So let's go to step 1 is repetition. So that could be a word, a phrase, a mantra, a prayer, whatever you like. For most of my clients, we start with just a word, something that really resonates with them. Sometimes they'll use peace or freedom or kind of whatever pops into your head of, oh, that's a word I could focus on. Calm, whatever you like. Trust, that's another one that we use pretty frequently. And you could add a whole phrase like, I trust myself, or I trust the universe, or I trust God, or whatever that, some phrase that you like that feels good to you, resonates with you. And so you're just going to repeat that word, that phrase, that prayer, and you just repeat it over and over for the however long you want to practice eliciting the relaxation response. And step 2 is that passively dismissing everyday thought. So it's absolutely normal to have intrusive thoughts. You might have images that come up, just thoughts that come up. You even have sensations that come up. That's totally normal. But what you want to do with those thoughts is to passively dismiss them, meaning that a thought will come up and you just kind of say, and let that go and go back to your word, your phrase, your prayer, whatever that is that you're repeating. So with that passively, and Herbert Benson, who is the researcher. So if you're interested in the science of the relaxation response, there's a ton of research. And Herbert Benson is a professor at Harvard and wrote a couple books, but this is one of the Relaxation Revolution. There you go, is a good one to learn more about the science behind this and the practice. But the idea is to practice for 10 minutes a day. If you only have a couple minutes and you're like, oh, I don't have to, still, it's fine. Just do what you can do. But Herbert Benson talks about this passively dismissing these thoughts as kind of saying, oh, well, And my friend Chelsea was like, maybe I should just make my phrase, oh, well, because I'm probably going to be saying, oh, well, the whole 10 minutes. That's totally fine if you wanted to do that. And don't feel like you have to be married to your word or your phrase or your prayer or any, you can always change it. You don't have to, just because you start with the word freedom, you don't have to use that every single time. You could try some different phrases out, or if you've been given a mantra, maybe you've done some transcendental meditation or something and you want to use a mantra or phrase that's been given to you, totally great. Use whatever. If you use this in conjunction with other modalities, other therapies like acupuncture, massage, I guess even chiropractic or some other therapeutic cold plunging, you do this while you're doing something else, it appears to be exponentially beneficial. I guess I should say that way. So there is a greater sense from people who practice eliciting, like purposely, consciously eliciting the relaxation response while they're doing some other kind of therapy. They experience, or the people report that they experience, a greater benefit. So you might want to think about that if there are some other therapies that you do. But the idea for 30 Calm is that we do this for 10 minutes a day to help with our mental wellness and our overall health. And what happens if you do this consistently is that it just creates some space so that you're more able to respond to the things that are happening in life, as opposed to feeling like you're reactive and you're just reacting all the time. So that is the relaxation response. Hopefully that is helpful to you. Feel free to leave some comments and let me know how that's going.